welcome to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelley. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Happy Sunday and happy Valentine's Day. Today we are going to do a special kind of reading. I had promised for a while that I've here on my channel I've been posting videos about my card collection, about the different cards that I use. And per the suggestion, one of the posts from one of my watchers, I was asked to go ahead and do like an overview or share the cards, you know, kind of a collection review of the different cards that I use. Now, I have quite a few decks. I have a lot of them. I keep trying to do a count, but I keep losing count. But what I decided to do was go ahead and break up the series into groups, which is really how I organize my cards anyway. So today that's what I'm going to do. Today, in honor of Valentine's Day, I'm going to go ahead and show you the cards that I use for love readings and for myself for the more personal kind of, you know, intimate or love readings. These cards can definitely be used in a family or, you know, more platonic, like friendship related. But quite a few of the decks, and as we go through, I'll let you know which ones are definitely lean more heavily towards love and romance. But the decks here are the 5 decks that I use when I'm doing like personal reads, both for myself and for others. Now, one real caveat, once we, the first half of the video, we're going to go over the different card decks. And then the second half of the video, I'm going to do something kind of special. I'm going to let you choose from one of 4 hearts. So I have 4 heart organites there, and I'll pull these out at the end after we've talked about the different cards. I'll go ahead and let you choose a heart, and we'll do a quick, we'll take one card from each deck and say, who wants to be your Valentine? But it'll be a real super quick read. I know my reads are usually long, but I promise you we'll make it super quick. But if you want to skip straight to that part of the video, the timestamps are in the description box, so just go ahead and click on it. I'm also going to stamp each of the card decks if you want to go straight to the deck in question, the one that you are drawn to. And then I will also put the name and the author of the deck. There are going to be 2 card decks that are not shown here that I'm going to mention because they are card decks that I've either ordered or I am looking to order to come in, and those will be included in my love decks. So one other caveat, the decks that I show here, this is just a display of the tools that I use. It's meant to help you find a deck that works well for you and to introduce you to the product. I mean, no infringement. All the images and the cards that you see are someone's intellectual property. And I definitely will, of course, provide you with the information on how to purchase this directly from the author. Also, if any of the decks are not, you know, currently in print, I will go over those details when we get to the deck's description. Again, if you ever want to jump straight to the part of the video that, you know, interests you most, the timestamps are in the description box. That is your fast pass. And let's go ahead and get started. Is there anything else I'm missing? I'm like triple checking to make sure that I have all the decks here because I have a lot of cards. But yeah, no, we're good. We're good. These are the 5 decks that I have, and there are 2 other decks that I'm waiting for. And we'll talk about those. But to get started, the first deck that I'm going to talk about today is these are really wonderful cards. As you can see, there's a lot of them. But this card deck is called Messages from the Divine Masculine, and it's by Karen Burgess. And Karen Burgess is a reader here on YouTube. She goes by the name Soul Whispers Tarot. So it's soul, like soul symbols, S-O-U-L, Whispers Tarot. And I believe that I have a feeling that she has an affiliation with possibly a sibling, because there's another lady here on YouTube that the voice sounds similar, so I think that they may be related. But the author of this deck is definitely Soul Whispers Tarot, and her name is Karen Burgess. And what it is she is a creator of this deck. And as you can see, it's a lot of cards. They are playing card size, or they're Lenormand size. Whoops, I gotta be careful. I gotta keep my grip on these or they roll all around. I actually have a special bag that I keep them in. But what it is that it's a very large deck, and you probably see this a lot if you watch other videos on YouTube. You see a lot of readers have like note cards or index cards that have certain phrases on it. And what she did is she went ahead and actually, and I think there's got to be over close to 100 cards here, because I mean most decks have like at least 70 cards, and this is a lot, even though, and they're thin cards. So, but I think it is close to 100 cards. But she has phrases like "Let me be your king," "You fascinate me," "You are my rock," you know, "You are the one." And what it is it's meant to be messages from the divine masculine, meaning like it's supposed to be like, I use this deck a lot, like I like to think of it this way: if the person that you're asking about, if you could be in their head, like if you could hear like the direct thought, if you had if you had telepathy where you could hear what they're talking about. Oh, look at this. Step into my shoes for a minute. This would be the messages. It's almost like the unscripted thoughts that go through their head. These message cards would be that. Now they are color coded. I don't really think that they're chakra related, because it really is like a myriad of colors. And there's actually a really great book that I mention here that I have that talks about the meanings of colors. And that's another thing that you can do, is you can pull out that book and kind of compare it. So that's also a really great New Age reference. And what it is, you know, if the other thing is that I like that, because when you're pulling oracle cards, you know, sometimes certain color themes will be very prominent. But, you know, she has sayings like, "I want to do things right," "What's my purpose?" You know, "I'm reprioritizing." And these are just excellent, excellent messages. They just kind of like when you're doing a spread, and, you know, honestly, I feel like these cards are very, I want to do things right. That keeps popping out, guys. Maybe that's a message for someone. I want to do things right. So this, you can see it's very calming, because like, say for instance, you're getting a lot of cards about someone, what, like you get, we just had a tarot on the Eight of Cups. You see Eight of Cups, and you see someone avoiding you or not talking to you, and you know, what it is that, that can be very confusing, and it can kind of hurt your feelings. But if you pull a card that says something like, "I want to do things right," that's kind of a soothing message, because it's kind of like saying, okay, this person doesn't want to approach you unless they have all their ducks in a row, right? They want to do things the right way. They don't want to play any games, right? So that's good. She also has other keywords like "someone is triggering me." So that's great, you know, if you're doing a spread and, you know, a certain court card comes out. She also has like, "I'm so excited," "I'm sorry," "I'm here for you." And again, you know, you could look up the colors in a color book, or you can compare the colors. I've definitely done, you know, she's got ones like "I'm struggling with money." That's a great one, because sometimes if you see like the Four of Pentacles, she also has cards like "this or that," you know. So there is a card in here that also says "I'm not sure." And she's got cards that say like "I'm praying to God," or "I'm in a dark place." There's one, this one comes out a lot. "I'm showing you something important." So, you know, sometimes if you're dealing with Lenormand cards and you get like the magnifying glass, or, you know, you feel like you might be overlooking some kind of detail, "I'm always thinking about you." "Let's flirt." That one's a great one. You know, sometimes that can, you know, and again, it's like a stream of consciousness. It's like if you could be in this person, the person that you're asking about, if you could be in their head for a minute, what would they tell you? Now the name of the deck is Messages from the Divine Masculine. So yes, most of the time it is, you know, messages in the, like being in the head of the other person. But and even it has "My heart is broken." But a lot of times you can pull these cards for yourself as well. There's definitely, oh, there we go. There's the "Help Me" card. So again, sometimes when I'm doing a spread, I'd be throwing cards and I'm like, okay, what do they mean by that? And then, I'll see something like Six of Cups and then the help me card will come out. It's almost like, help me reconcile, help me bring this back together, or, help me, this one's a big one too. I feel insecure. Again, it helps flesh out a read, and you can use it, you can use these messages for another person, you can use it for yourself, you can use it for like if you've had a fight with a family member, but it is extremely helpful when you're talking in a love context. This one comes out a lot for me too. You inspire me to be my best version. But this is a really gorgeous deck. It is a little bit pricier. When I got it, I think it was around $78. It's around $70, $80, but for the number of cards that you get. Now, the only other sticky wicket is that this deck really was like a hit or miss. You follow Soul Whispers Tarot, and she'll mention, what I did is I followed the channel and I mentioned, she'd say, oh, okay, I'm going to have this back in stock by this date. And she had it on her website. I have to admit, it's been over a year since I've seen it in stock. I grabbed it. I was like, here, I was waiting and watching, and it did have to ship internationally, so it did take about 3 weeks to get to me, and it was, with shipping and everything, it was close to $80. So it's a little bit of an investment, and you have to wait and watch. But it's Soul Whispers Tarot. She has a website and all the data. If you follow, she posts videos frequently, so if you just check in periodically, she's good about mentioning it in every video. And she actually uses these cards in her reads as well. So if you prefer not to purchase, but you just want to watch her channel, that's a great way, again, to support other artists and readers here on YouTube. Now, speaking, just to bridge real quick, one deck that I've also been waiting and watching for, so it's similar to this. There's another deck that's created by a YouTuber that's called Heal and Ascend Tarot. And she's a great reader. She's I like how concise she is, and she doesn't sugarcoat anything. But, and I'll go ahead and, there's a little story here. I'll go ahead and confess. She has like a real square deck, and I think it's called Twin Flame Messages. And I wanted to mention it because, of course, in card reading, we use the same terminology a lot. So if you try to go on YouTube, if you try to go on Google and Google Twin Flame Messages, you'll come up with like 100 different hits that are not the deck you're looking for. But it's about this size, and it's square, so it's even square. But it's by Heal and Ascend Tarot. And what happened was, she actually came out, she had another batch of that deck. And of course, if you're watching this video at the time it posts, we're in pandemic world. So I know publishing and getting things out at a certain time is difficult. But she had a batch of those cards out like around this time last year. It was like January of last year, and she was taking pre-orders around Christmas. And of course, that was before things got really crazy with COVID. So I missed it. I saw it up for sale, and I missed my window. And I'll tell you, my instinct was going nuts too. It was like, go ahead and buy it. And I'm like, I have time. Of course, I didn't have time. It sold out. And what happened was, probably about 2 months ago, she had it back up on her website. And Heal and Ascend Tarot, let me just go ahead and say hello, because I am that crazy chick. Because I wanted the deck so bad, and the moment I didn't wait for her to say that it was up for sale. I was doing the same thing. I was watching her videos and waiting for her to say, okay, it's up for sale. I'll admit it, I was stalking her website. I stalked her website and I saw it there, and I went ahead and bought it. I was totally like, take my money, right? And what happened was she didn't realize that it was a live link on her website, right? She didn't realize the website had, had that link for purchase, and she didn't have the deck yet. So she very politely emailed me and gave me my money back and said, "I'm so sorry, we don't have it in stock yet, but I will tell you when we have it back in stock." And she's since taken it off her website, so no, there's no confusion, which is respected. But I just wanted to say hello. Hi, I'm that crazy trick that tried to push my money to you, and I'll do it again as soon as no, I'm kidding. Yes, but I'm totally I'm fiending for that deck, and it's a really good deck. And the reason that I like it so much is because I've seen her use it, and the messages really resonate with me. That one is also about $70, and it does have a lot of cards, but they're wide and square, and she probably I haven't heard an update. I really just think that the publishing schedule, like I think everybody's backlogged with decks, right now, that it's just not. It's been tough. So I understand, respect, but that's another deck that I saw from another reader here that is on my wish list. I'll be, as soon as she has more in stock, I'm going to be in it, on it, all over it. If you want to reach out to me, I'm not asking for special treatment, but I love the deck, and call me, beat me. I'll Venmo, PayPal, however you roll, I'm there. But the second deck here is similar. It is also Lenormand size, but it's a little bit wider. So and this is the Island Time Wellness cards, and it's the Island Time Wellness Love Oracle cards. And Island Time Wellness is the name of the artist, and this is an Etsy creator. I did also I found out about these cards by watching other readers, and that's another thing. I'm very grateful when the readers post the name of the materials that they use. That's actually the reason why I do that in all of my videos as well, is because I know how frustrating that is. It's not a bad thing if you don't do that, but I just know as a card reader it's so helpful, instead of screenshotting and trying to do like a Google image search, which is difficult. If you just note the name of the cards. But Island Time Wellness, she actually has two different versions of this, and she has one that's in pink and one that's in black and white. I kind of wanted to go with the pink since it was love. But what she has is she has an image, a keyword, and then underneath it she has key phrases, which is really great. So she has like a chaser, passion, insane chemistry, like each other equally. She's got really great messages like not enough, frustrated in a relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage. I really love this one. She's got one that says mirror, so maybe you're mirroring someone, or if you see something that's a little bit of a, counterpart. She's got great messages like cassette, outdated thinking, replaying events in your head, camera, if someone's looking at your pictures, or, reminiscing on the past. Sometimes this can be about making new memories, and again, you look at your surrounding cards. She's got some pretty powerful ones, like she has girl with a snake. So sometimes this can be being charmed or used, enable boundaries, empath and narcissist paradigm. So she definitely doesn't sugarcoat anything. These are pretty tough cards. Now, a few of the cards are very similar to Lenormand, like she's got coffin, endings bring new beginnings. She does have things like karmic relationship. I like this, that she has like butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase. And she has simpler cards like I like you. Just like we saw Chaser, she has a runner card, so those two are counterparts. But I love how she has cards like healing heart, twin flames, clock, sometimes that's divine timing. Heart with a key, sunglasses. I like this one because that can be looking, watching, stalking, gaslighting. Lightning is kind of like tower, but in a positive way. Addiction. Love call is great because it can be a sign, like if you do see cards that talk about someone reaching out, it can be like affirmation of that. Have faith, love is coming. This one's great where it says not today. So, it's great if you're throwing cards, like if you're like somebody, I called and it sounded like they hung up. Are they really avoiding my call? And, this is great because sometimes it can say that they are avoiding you because either they're busy or they're still angry about something. She's got cards like Ascending. Um, and I just really like it because she's got several. Instead of it just being, just pulling the death card and being like, what's that about? Sometimes it can, you need a little bit more clarification. And these cards give a lot of clarification. She's got things like Hand of Cards, taking a risk, not showing your hand. Axe is kind of like Scythe in Lenormand. I love how she has like wedding rings, which is also very Lenormand-esque. But then Hammer, Sabotage, Rebuilding. She does have cards like Stabbed in the Back or Keys on a Ring, which can be many options strung along. She does have cards like Seduction, which could quite honestly be giving you a full story. But here you've got like Coffee Cup, Meeting and Conversating, Love. So again, there's quite a few of them that echo Lenormand, but then there's other ones that are just very strictly love related that can give a very clear, give a clear explanation of what's going on. I love this Girl Talk, Time with Friends, Moving On. Sometimes, if you're getting your glow up, you can just go do your own thing. And she does have cards like Mask, like someone putting on a mask. And if you just watch the walkthrough for the DejaDrewIt deck, but she has some very positive cards too. So sometimes it can talk about making healthy choices or feeling abundant. So I like this deck because it's an equal amount of, really honest advice and really, and it gives at least 8 to 10 really clarifying messages of, what's going on in this situation. So it's a great deck. It's not that expensive. I think it's like $15. It ships from the U.S. Very quickly, and I think they're in the Northeast United States. And you can go straight to Etsy and purchase it, and it's a good deal. And you do have a choice. You can get traditional pink or black and white, and then they do have it's a good amount of cards too. Now the next deck is, this deck is really hard to find. You see readers use it, but what it is this is the Romance Angels. And the Romance Angels deck is, there's an author, and why am I drawing a blank? Oh my gosh. Basically, in card reading, in the last 20 years, there are a few big names, almost like when you go to the bookstore and you see the big names of, novel authors. There's two really big names in Oracle cards. One is Colette Baron Reed, and the other one, oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank? One second. Oh gosh, guys, I'm sorry. I was drawing a blank. It's been a busy week. Doreen Virtue. And Doreen Virtue is very, very well known. She's done over 20 different decks. She's done angel decks. She's done oracle decks. And what happened was, and it's a little bit, it's a little bit controversial, and there's no judgment here, but somewhere in her career, Doreen, after she published so many decks, she decided at some point that her faith had turned more religious, which is completely okay. Card reading is all New Age subjects can really overlap with traditional religion. At least that's in my humble opinion. But in her career, she decided at some point that she didn't want to do oracle anymore. That it conflicted. That oracle cards were not in line with her religious faith. So that is completely okay. But what happened was when she did that, when she decided that she would no longer create more decks, she did go ahead and discontinue the rights to print, to reproduce the decks that she had already created, right? She said, okay, I'm not doing oracle cards anymore. But of course, that created a scarcity because the publishers of most of her cards are published by Hay House. Once the decks that were already out there in the world, out in the wild, were sold, there was no printing rights to make more. So what happened was she created this really wonderful oracle deck that's called the Romance Angels. And the Romance Angels are really beautiful cards. They're much wider. They're like a traditional oracle deck. And, you know, she's got keywords at the top and then a phrase at the bottom. And then what I love is that the image is it's very like Regency kind of images. You know, she has a few, you know, they look old timey, right? Anywhere from Shakespeare's time to Regency era England. But she has phrases like keep an open mind, your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. She's got like trust, this situation is calling for you to have faith. She's got some strong ones in there like codependency, addictions, express your love, getting to know each other. What I love about this deck is that she does have things like past life relationship. This is a strong one. It's like pay attention to the red flags. You know, she's got just so many really wonderful keywords like romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. And again, that's such a comfort when you're throwing cards. Sometimes you feel a little confused, like, okay, why isn't this person talking to me, or what's going on in this situation? Sometimes it's a reaffirmation to say, yes, what you're feeling. The other thing I get with this card is it's not all in your head, right? What you're feeling is true. You know, your feelings are real and worth exploring. Sometimes if you need to have a real heartfelt conversation. Honeymoon is great. Sometimes I think of the Six of Swords with this. Sometimes it can be a sign that someone wants to get away with you. Maybe someone wants to take you away and have private time with you. Or to work out relationship problems away from, you know, everybody else's opinions. This one's great because it talks about let go of control issues. So if you're getting some emperor up in the mix, you know, it could be that it might be telling you that you're holding on too tight, or that, you know, you got to be more flexible. She's got cards like let your friends help you and unrequited love. You know, sometimes that's great. New love can either be a new person or an old love coming back in. This card I really love. This is so beautiful. It's you deserve love. It's safe for you to love. Very soon, which is a good one for timing. Release your ex. Separation. This one is also really nice too. Stay optimistic about your love life, or give your relationship a chance. But it's really wonderful. The keywords it gives you such a good, you know, I love worth waiting for, because again, that's another affirmation one. If you've been frustrated. Oh, and here's a great one too. Sometimes when you get a spread, sometimes someone's religious background might be coming into play, you know, like there might be other obstacles, right? You know, we always say third party doesn't need to be a person. Sometimes it can be other things. Here's another great one, retreat. You know, if you get retreat and honeymoon, free yourself. You know, sometimes you're giving your power to someone else. Soulmate is great because sometimes you feel a dramatic pull to someone, and you know, just the affirmation that yes, this is your soulmate. This one's a great one. It's love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So that's kind of like saying, okay, you know, go ahead and do you. You know, the other person will follow you. This one's a great one too. Sometimes healing family issues. If someone's been married before, or someone has a family, if someone has kids, either that, or it could be their family dynamics. Something might be going on with their parents or sibling. It does have cards like deception, wedding, reconciliation's a really beautiful one. But here's another one, children. Your love life is being affected by children. So again, you know, maybe somebody is worrying about their kids. Finances and career. But it's really, really great. And it just kind of gives you, it gives you an idea of what's going on with this. And there's so many really great keywords. You see how many cards, it's a good number of cards. But again, what the difficulty with this is that this deck is no longer in print. The author has stopped doing oracle cards. They've been very adamant about not producing any more of their previous works, at least not that I've heard of. And I'm assuming that that's what's going on, because Hay House has, you know, once the deck is sold out. Now, what you are seeing is that it became a great demand because it's out of print, and it's doing that thing, that scarcity thing, where you're going to see this deck in English or in your language for like $200 on Amazon. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky, is that you could, if you do speak another language, if you speak, I have seen this deck in French and in German on like eBay for like $60. It's the price hike is still there. But so if you do speak other languages, but the only thing is sometimes in translation, as you know, it's kind of like Tower of Babel. The moment you start translating it, it's still, like in Spanish when you see Casablanca, it's house white, it's not White House. So, sometimes translating it can be a little iffy. The other thing that I have seen is I've also seen like $20 versions of this, but they're bootleg coming from other countries where someone might have scanned the card, and you can't really speak for the card quality because it wouldn't really be the original deck. Now, please do not, please don't hate me, but I actually got my deck when I was first getting back into tarot about 3 years ago, and I lucked out so much that I actually got this deck off Amazon for $19. And it's the original deck in English. And it had to have been one of the last ones because it was amazing. Like 2 weeks after that is when the buying frenzy started. So I'm assuming that this decision to stop producing them must have came sometime around that time. It was right around 2018, 2019, I'm assuming. But I would say that, it's whatever you feel comfortable with. It is a wonderful deck. It's a wonderful deck, and at this point it has a good resale value. But I would just say that, I probably wouldn't advise spending $200 on it. I mean, the other thing is that sometimes if you go to the forums with other readers, you might see somebody who's selling it reputably. And again, it might be about $50 or $60 just because they probably will sell it at a little bit of a markup. But if the other thing is you want to make sure if it's used, because honestly, if you find it at a good price, it's probably used. You do want to make sure that, please check out a flip through. I didn't do a full flip through here, but check out a full flip through here on YouTube to make sure that all the cards are there. And then, of course, just check the ratings of the seller. But yeah, that's going to be one of those that you kind of have to hunt for. But it is a good deck. It's a very good deck. And definitely if you do romance readings, either for yourself or for other people, it's a fantastic deck to have in your group. I mean, ultimately, I would love to see, if the author had a change of some kind of heart where she could at least let more print runs of her previous work be done. I don't anticipate that happening, but you never know. Put some good thoughts out there, maybe do some creative visualization, and maybe she'll do that. Just because I would like to see people buy it at a reasonable cost and not have to pay out money to someone who wants to make a ridiculous profit, right? Because that's energy, right? It's an energy exchange. You want to put good out into the world and get good back. But so moving on, we've got deck number 4. This is another deck, and honestly, almost all these decks, with the exception of Doreen Virtue, are done by readers. They're created by readers. Now, this deck is the Twin Flame Messages Volume 1 by Mystic Moon. And Mystic Moon, if you don't know her name, go ask somebody, because she's very, very well known. She is a reader here on YouTube. And what this is an oracle deck. Please don't take what happened personally. It's not you, it's me. Now, so she is a reader here on YouTube, and she has several different decks. She has decks that are based on tarot. She has, this deck is a separate oracle deck. All of the images are the same. It's a rose. But what it is similar to Messages from Divine Masculine. It's almost like she has one phrase that's on the card that's as if you're as if you were in the head of the person that you're asking about, the man or woman that you're asking about. What would they say? And here you've got, I really like the cards that have simple messages, and I also like the cards that have messages that you don't see everywhere else. So yes, it's great that a card says, I love you, but if a card, this deck had some very good messages in it. So like, I need more time to figure things out. You are an angel. That's a really sweet one. I can still feel you. This one is one of the reasons I bought the deck. I know I screwed things up and I honestly have no idea how to fix it. That's great. I don't know if I can meet your expectations. See, this is great. This, again, it really fleshes out a read when you're trying to, get a clear message. I know you're right, but I need to come to my own conclusions. If someone's being stubborn, you can see that. I've looked you up online to see what you've been up to. I just wasn't ready for you. Our connection still affects me. I've thought a lot about you lately. I'm not the same person you remember, so if it's been a long time, I'm a better person because of you. This one's a great one. Maybe we're just too different. That could be someone who's really on the fence. Lying was just easier than telling you the truth. Your intensity frightens and allures me all at the same time. So again, someone's intimidated by you. I should have been more honest about how I was feeling at the time. This one's great. I'm more affected than you know. This one's really powerful too. Something is still missing for me and I'm trying to figure out what that is. I can't seem to find the right words to say to you. See? And you see how powerful this is. Again, it helps flesh out if someone is, is not talking to you. Sometimes there's some really deep reasons for that. I'm reminded of you constantly. If you see this next to like the Nine of Swords, someone might be up at night. I'm sorry I couldn't do right by you. This one's a great one. We will be together again. My heart is telling me to just do it. I wish I could take back the things I said. I still love you, which is great. Again, my mind and heart always goes back to you. I feel badly for the way I treated you. You didn't deserve that. This one's a good one too. The grass wasn't greener on the other side. You inspire me. Being apart has been life-changing for me. So again, you can kind of flesh out that story with other cards around it. It's easier to stay away right now. Oh, this one's a powerful one too. I feel damaged, like I just can't do this. And oh my God, tell me that's not a human message. This is another one. Would you reject me? Again, maybe someone's hovering you and they're acting all strange, and maybe they're afraid to approach you because they think that you'll shoot them down. You've been in my dreams. This one's a great one too. I want to be authentic. I am no longer afraid. One of the reasons, there's a few of these phrases that really sold me on the deck. I just wasn't ready for you. That's another one, either maturity-wise, maybe financially-wise. There's one in here that really spoke to me. Oh, I'm finally feeling the consequences of my action. And, oh, this one also really is powerful. No other compares to you. Yeah, so if you see this next to the grass is greener, somebody might be moving on, moving around, but they're not finding anything comparable to you. Oh, and this is a powerful one. I don't know if I already said this one. Sorry, guys. I don't know if I can meet your expectations. Yeah, again, and these are just really, really real messages, and again, it doesn't. I think it kind of makes. I like this deck because it kind of humanizes the person that you're throwing cards about. It kind of gives you. The other thing is sometimes if I'm throwing, I've had some breakups in my past where sometimes when I'm throwing cards, I'll get a little pissed. Like someone's like, Six of Wands, Nine of Cups, and I'm like, oh well, I'm glad they're out in the world, just getting, feeling like the freaking hero. But then I'll throw cards, and sometimes I'll get like Mask and. Something is missing. So, again, sometimes the perception of what's going on the surface isn't really what's going on underneath. And you can glean a lot of information by throwing those cards. Now, this is the deck volume 1. She does have another deck that's volume 2, and that one is black and white. It has a picture of a couple on it. And I'll post the link to her Etsy down below. But the other deck is really nice too. The other one has I really debated getting. Again, I'm trying not to have over too many decks, but they're addictive, right? The other deck has some really great messages. The volume 2 has one that says "You speak to me through music," or I hear you, I heard a song on the radio and it reminded me of you. Volume 2 also has, and I don't have that deck, I don't have Volume 2, but that deck also has one that says, I was reminded of your scent recently. And that's a real powerful one, because sometimes your perfume, or just the way that you smell, maybe it's your shampoo or the soap that you use, that sometimes that can really, pheromones, that's a thing. And someone really might be missing you in more than just the physical. They might, someone, they might smell your perfume, and it just really just, punches them right in the feels. That happens. And again, you can also pull these cards for yourself. Maybe you smelled someone's cologne, and and it really it took you back. The Mystic Moon deck is a little bit more pricey. I think it's around $50-$60, and then with shipping, but it's a flat fee for shipping, and she does do regular, consistent runs of this. You can get the deck just about every 3 months. She might be a little backlogged, again, with pandemic world, just the production of things have been delayed, but just, if you check the Etsy site, or, and she's very communicative about it on her channel as well. But it's a good quality product, and they're good cards, and they don't take up too much space, and you get a lot of messages for that. Now, the last deck, we've got the Hidden Truth Oracle by All Things Intuitive, and it is amazing. I've seen this deck on a lot of channels. And I saw this, and again, I kind of get an idea by watching those channels. I see the messages, and again, I like this deck. It's the same kind of format. You see the same image, roses, and then it has a simple keyword. And just like Heal and Ascend Tarot, when I see the messages that I like when I see the one phrase messages, the other thing is that I don't like it getting too lengthy. This is just me. I have Virgo in my chart. It's how I am. But I don't like it when things get too flowery. I like really succinct, real messages. If I were sitting in your head hearing their thoughts, those kind of messages, right? I sometimes see a few cards that are like, I'm going to love you until eternity, or until the ocean runs dry. And it's like, those are beautiful messages, but that's not going to tell me why I'm getting the Eight of Cups in a freaking tarot read, right? But when, this kind of deck where it says, I lost myself for a little while, that's the message. One sentence, correct punctuation, I will wait for a sign from you. You came closer than anyone. See, this is what I'm talking about. These kind of messages that just get right to the point and are so real, like human. The other thing is that it's very accompanying. Like there's so many messages. There's not very much overlap. I've actually done a few love readings, and there's probably only 1 or 2 cards that actually have the same message, like I love you. Like I think in this deck it says I still love you, and this one just says I love you. But I love that because there's probably 1 or 2 overlapping messages, but for the most part, both decks have very succinct, different messages. I am becoming a better person. And this is great because a few of these decks actually say you inspire me, or you inspire me to be my best version, or you are my muse. I hope that you can forgive me one day. I can't stop thinking about you. That's the other kind of overlapping one. I am not available. This is probably the only deck that I've seen that, and tell me that is not freaking real. The other thing is that's a great message to help flesh out a reading. Like if somebody, you can kind of find out why someone's not available. Like if you pull engagement card, or you pull wedding, or you pull healing family issues, you can kind of figure out what's going on with that. I bury myself in work to forget you. Okay, that's one of the messages that sold me on this deck. I know I messed up everything. That's kind of like I know I screwed everything up and I don't know how to fix it. I hid who I really am from you. That's a real powerful one. I want to feel that way again. I want to be more than friends. I like this one because sometimes, again, if you're doing a read and you're not quite sure who you're talking about, I want you. That's really great because if you get like the devil, you can flesh out whether or not someone just wants you in bed versus wants you in their life. I know I crossed the line with you, and oh my gosh. Sometimes if you see that next to, would you reject me? It's kind of like, okay, how badly did I F up? I left when I saw you with someone. Oh my gosh, that one's great. I'm so attracted to you. Ooh. Okay, that one hit the floor, guys. Hold on. Ooh. Ow. Oh my God. Okay, old age. Don't let it happen to you. Okay. That might be a message for someone because that flew. I knew exactly what I was doing. Now this card gets me a little riled up, but then I always clarify this card, but oh my gosh. What do you mean you knew what you were doing? You knew you were skirting around? It's kind of like, what? Say what? I feel you even though we're apart. That one's a really sweet one. We will be together again. That's another overlapping card. So many things remind me of you. Sometimes I get this card when I see judgment, and oh, that means, I like kind of seeing this card with judgment because that means the universe is on your person's back. They're like, you know what? We're not going to let you forget about this person. Maybe you have, the other thing is maybe you had some kind of shared memory of something. Maybe you both like popcorn and now everywhere they turn, they're seeing symbols of popcorn or something. Something like that. I'm starting to understand our connection. It's time for me to heal now. This one really gets me, and I like this card. You don't know how hard it was to let you go. And sometimes, again, like if you get a card like religious factors or I'm healing family issues, maybe this person really wants to be with you, but they can't, right? There might be something, and it's like a choice. I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. Oh, here we go. You speak to me through music. You know what it is that the Twin Flame Volume 2, I think it says something like, so many songs remind me of you, or something about I heard a song on a radio. So that also can be the universe kind of speaking. I replay our conversations over and over again. And you remember in this deck there was a cassette, like maybe you said something to this person, and this can be both positive and negative. If you had good times, they could be remembering the really sweet things that you said to each other. Or sometimes if you called somebody on their BS, maybe they're remembering that too. So that could be something like, okay, I should stay away if I'm, if I can't, if you see this next to the Queen of Swords, it would be like, okay, you need to come at me right or don't bother. I love you unconditionally. I get a little mad at this message sometimes just because when you feel like someone's been a little player with you, like maybe they really wanted something intimate with you, and then later they just kind of, they swoop in and then they swoop out, and then they're like, oh, I love you unconditionally. And it's like, don't give me that. Please, who do you think you are fooling with that, But the other thing is that sometimes if you see this in a context, if you see it in past life relationship, sometimes it can be that unconditionally where it's like, I'll always love you as well. This one's a strong one. I hide behind material things. And, oh, this one's powerful. It was my fault, but I blamed you. And there we go. We have another I love you. So, there's some, oh, here's another strong one. I wonder if you're happy without me. This one's a strong one. I don't react when people mention you. If you see this next to the Four of Cups, sometimes someone can be like really ignoring you, and what it is that they're purposely doing it because they might overreact if they talk to you. I want to tell you how I feel. Here's another one. I wish I could share my good news with you. So maybe they got stuff going on in their life that they're happy about. Here's a great one. You were the best thing in my life. This one's a strong one. We need to let each other go. Or finding out the truth crushed me, So again, maybe if you see this next to a card where that they're internet stalking or something, maybe they found out something, maybe they found out you're seeing someone else or something like that. But I'm going to go ahead and turn a light on. Sorry, guys. It's still light out, but yeah, so all 5 of these decks are great. I mentioned the Twin Flame Messages that is not up for sale yet, but I'm looking for it. Now, the last deck that's also not shown here, but it's on its way, is that I've shown you in other videos in the self-care, the self-care Oracle deck collection reading. There's a great deck by DejaDrewIt, and it's called the My Self-Care cards by DejaDrewIt. This is just one of those cards. Deja has come out. I love, and I mentioned in that video, this deck, this self-care deck, it's not one of my love decks. It's under psychology and self-care. This deck I use on the daily, like seriously, legit, every single day. And what it is it's self-care activities. And DejaDrewIt is a mom, a single mom, and an artist. And what she did is she finally came out. There's been a lot of love decks out there. And again, I keep an eye out on it. I have a lot of decks already. But she came out, she was working last year, she was working on the Love Oracle deck. And I was seeing her images, like if you follow her on Instagram or on Facebook, I was seeing these images as she was creating them, and I was just like, oh wow, this looks like a great deck. And of course I love her self-care deck. So it went up on Kickstarter. If you're not familiar with Kickstarter, please check out the Intuit Oracle walkthrough. Kickstarter is a funding site where independent artists can go to have their projects funded. And Deja's a pro at it. She's had several decks produced through that website. So she went ahead through Kickstarter, and just like her other deck sites, her other projects, she went ahead and put the Love Oracle deck up for funding. And of course it funded real quick. She's so good at this. And I decided to go ahead and do it. So it was before Christmas. I went ahead and funded it. Now, again, just like all of these decks, you know, print schedules have been askew because of world events. So I just got the email the other day, and I'm so freaking excited. She did say that the print run, the first like 100 decks are on the way to her, and then she will probably start mailing them out by the beginning of March. So she orders extra decks that might be for sale on her website. And again, just like the self-care cards, it's her artwork. And from what I could see, there's so many really great ones. And I think that's going to be a wonderful addition to my love reading oracle decks. I think it's different enough. Again, it's like the self-care. I think it's different enough. And it had keywords like, you know, freedom or commitment. And the artwork and the keywords just seemed unique to me and beautiful, and I think it would really tie together. And I know I got a lot of cards, but I love her work, and so it was a no-brainer. I didn't want to. I'd looked at other oracle decks, and that one really looked like it had what I was looking for. So that's another deck that you could look forward to, and she does have her website, DejaDrewIt, so she might have some leftover decks, and that's coming up soon. So if you are interested in that, and I've posted a few pictures so you can get an idea what they look like, but definitely check out her Instagram and her Facebook, and check out her website to see if that's a deck that you might be interested in. But all right, guys. So when it comes to love, that's my corral o decks. And again, Healing Ascend Tarot. You know, please take my money. I will. I'm not trying to be that weird stalker girl, but you know, I'm that weirdo that tried to push my money on you. And I am going to still watch her. I watch her channel anyway, but I'm going to keep abreast to see when when she might have that deck in stock. But all right, guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to do something kind of different. I have 4 Organites here. We're going to go ahead and do a quick love reading. The first one is the Mermaid Organite, so that's that pretty blue heart. Second one is that purple heart. That one's really beautiful. The third one is kind of fiery. It has, this is called a Ganesh heart, but it's all gold and red. And the last one is, it's got kind of darker colors, but it's got a lot of warm brown in it too. I always consider that my little earth heart. But here we go. We've got 4 of them. So go ahead and to kind of decide which one you want. And I'm just going to quickly pull 1 card from each of these decks. We're going to do piles, and we're just going to very quickly. I promised that this would be quick, and that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and let's get your piles. And I'm going to fast forward through the shuffling just to make it quicker. But while I'm doing that, think about your heart, and I'll be right with you. guys, so we are back. I'm going to go ahead and just move these piles to the different sides. So the messages from the Divine Masculine really flipped out. So, all right, so we're going to start. We're going to just do a quick read. Who wants to be your Valentine? So we're going to start with the water heart, the blue heart. Who wants to be your Valentine? We've got your love life is being affected by children. So children, I know I messed up everything. I still love you. Self-indulgence, focus on self-worth, time to heal. I want to do things right. All right, guys, I'm getting very clearly, and again, because this is kind of a water heart, I feel like you might be attracted, man or woman, to someone who has a lot of water in their chart. It could be Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. I think that this person might be staying away from you, like you're probably not hearing too much from them. And I think it's because they have children. They might have children, or they're concerned about children. The other thing that I get is either that if they don't have children themselves, they might have been behaving in a real childish way. Or they might be dealing with a parent, like they're the child and they're dealing, but I am getting more of a feeling like it's a child. Like I get a sense that they have children with somebody. What I'm getting is that I know I messed up everything and I still love you. I'm getting a strong sense this might be an ex. This might be an ex that you broke up with, and they might have gone and gotten pregnant with someone else. But what I'm kind of seeing here is focus on self-worth, time to heal, and I want to do things right. It's quite possible that this person really wants to be with you, but then of course they have the consideration of their baby or their children, or some kind of responsibilities that involve children. And so what they're doing is, with time to heal, I think they're kind of pulling back a little bit to get themselves organized. I think they also don't know how to approach you. So I think this person wants to be your Valentine, but they probably won't be. Like, I don't think you're going to hear from them or get any flowers or anything. But they do want to let you know they still love you. The other thing is that I get a strong sense that they kind of want to do things the right way. They want to pull back and heal, maybe get everything organized if they do have like child support or a little one that they have to take into consideration. Again, they just kind of feel like everything's a mess right now, but they know that they still love you, and you're going to be the person on their mind for Valentine's. But I do get the sense that they kind of have to focus on themselves. They have to figure out what they're going to do, and they need to heal a little bit. And then if they do approach you, it's probably going to be a little bit slower because they want to do things the right way, and they want to make sure that everyone's taken care of. But wow, guys, that was very straightforward. Okay, so that was pile number 1. Let's go ahead and pile number 2. We've got the purple heart. All right, so the purple heart. Who wants to be your Valentine? Let's find out. So we've got wedding. Oh my gosh. Okay. I also think this heart almost looks like flowers. I wonder if you're happy without me. You also got 2 of these cards. I left before you could leave me. I left you before you could leave me. Then we've got, I wish I could take back the things I said. Oh my gosh, you got 2 cards here. Keys on a ring, many options, decisions, strung along. And then love call, message of love. And then I'm stuck. Wow, guys. You know what I am getting from this pile? There's 2 things that I kind of get from this. I get that either I get the sense that there's a few ways I can read it. This person either wants to marry you, but they're not able to. Either that, or this person is married and they still want to be with you, but I am getting a little bit of that energy because I'm seeing keys on a ring, multiple options, and then somebody calls you. I'll be quite honest, I think this might be somebody that you used to date. You broke up and then they got married to someone else, but they still reach out to you. Like that, I wonder if you're happy without me. I left you before you could leave me. The only other way I can read it is maybe you dated for a little bit and this person was a little bit of that player energy. Like they give you enough to keep you around, but they weren't real consistent. So maybe you went ahead and found somebody else. Maybe you're married now, and this person is like looking at your new life, and maybe they're still trying to reach out and talk to you, and they're wondering if you're happy in your marriage, if you're happier without them. The other thing is that I wish I could take back the things I said, and I'm stuck. Now, the I'm stuck is really what's making me feel like this. I feel like this person might be married. The other thing that I kind of get is that if they are married, I hate to say this, but I don't think they take their commitment very seriously, because it seems like there's no closure with you. The other thing is keys on a ring. It's almost like they're talking to you, but they're also married to someone else. And again, the no closure. I feel like they want some kind of closure with you. I think they left things open ended, and then they might have gotten. The other thing that I get is that it could be a commitment, but I do get the sense like, what I'm kind of seeing is I'm stuck. The other thing is those colors. Remember, I talked about this colors being similar. This kind of looks like a corset, and he's got the brown there too. But yeah, I wonder. The only other thing I can think of is that maybe this person had to get married. I know that sounds crazy. Sometimes, I mean, we still live in an age where arranged marriages, or there might have been some kind of obligation. Maybe they have a child with someone, and so the expectation was, okay, you do the right thing and get married. But that I do get the sense like this person left things very open ended with you. They wonder if you're happy without them. And the other thing I kind of get is I left you before you could leave me, and I wish I could take back the things I said. I'm getting a strong sense like this person pushed you away. Maybe they really cared about you, but then they had to leave because they had some kind of other commitment, and then they went ahead and got themselves stuck in it. But then they still reach out to you. They still call you or message you. Um, the other thing I kind of get is that I do, and I hate to badmouth this person, but it's almost like they're off and they've got this entire other life. Um, Either that, or it's quite possible that maybe you moved on to somebody else and you're quite happy. It might not even be marriage, but you're in a committed relationship with someone else. But then that's the exact time that this person comes back around and is like, hey, they want to see if your life is better than theirs. Um, but with the I'm stuck, I do get the feeling as if I think I think this person made the wrong choice. I think they made the wrong choice, but they're not being very committed. If they are in a marriage, they're not being very, they're not adhering to those vows very strongly. The other thing is that I do think that they call you. There's such a thing in dating called taking a temperature, and I'm so sorry to say it this way, guys. This is kind of crappy energy, but but what I'm getting is I'm feeling like you've been very strong. I think that you've been very strong with this person. I am getting a feeling of that. But if this person does, there's something called taking a temperature, which is like if somebody you had a relationship with someone and they want to see what your temperature is towards them now. Oh, we haven't talked in 6 months. Let me send them a text, or let me give them a quick call on the phone and see what kind of tone is in their voice. Do they still love me? Is their life better than mine? And I'll be honest, that's some crappy ass energy. Why are you gonna schlep like that? That's crappy. But the other thing that I kind of get is that I'm just out of curiosity. There is a card in this deck that says something like the grass wasn't greener. Just for poops and giggles, let's see if we get it. Our connection still affects me. I know I screwed things up and I honestly have no idea how to fix it. All right. Well, this person got themselves into another commitment. It may not be as stringent as marriage, but there is an engagement card in this deck. So they got themselves committed to something, and they probably said something. They were in a relationship with you. They were in a relationship with someone else. They got themselves into trouble where they got themselves committed to somebody else, and they had to like shut your relationship down. And now they're regretting what they said, but I do also think that they know that they have that kind of behavior. Like, I left you before you could leave me, and now they're stuck. The color synchronicity is really striking me with that. But this is, they might not be reaching out to you with love call. I think they might, but what I'm kind of getting is that this person wants to be your Valentine. But if they do call you, I would use a little bit of caution. This isn't advice. This is just who wants to be your Valentine. But I'd use a little bit of caution just because, hello, if someone's calling you up and they're married or in like a heavy commitment with someone else and they said crap to you that they wish they could take back, you don't, it's up to you if you want to take that phone call. Because, they want to take your temperature and, the other thing I kind of get is that if you even pick up the phone, they know that you still care about them. So I'm not telling you what to do, but this is the person who wants to be your Valentine. And again, it's a little bit of a tough behavior. I'm not judging anybody. Everybody has a story that, you put yourself in their shoes for a minute, but I do think that this is somebody who's not 100% happy with where they're at. The other thing is you look at the expression on dude's face. He really looks like he's doing it out of duty while she's all happy and he's just like looking straight ahead like, oh my God. It's a little bit of deer in the headlights is what I'm seeing here. But this person still cares about you. They wish that they could take back the things they said and they're stuck. But they wonder if you're happy without them. But I definitely get a little bit of temperature taking from that pile. And that's crappy, but, it's up to you if you want to speak to them because they may try to reach out to you. If they don't, just know that you're on their mind. All right, so we got third pile, which is, I always think this is my little fire heart because it's very warm. It looks a little bit like a fire energy. But let's go ahead and see. We got forgiving and learning. And oh, look at how much. There's a lot of red and golds in that too, guys. That looks like a synchronicity alert, doesn't it? Synchronicity alert. Okay, oh God. This card I always have mixed feelings about. I knew exactly what I was doing. Okay, what you doing? How you doing? I just wasn't ready for you. Paradise. And you turn me on in so many ways. Oh gosh, guys. All right. Let's get into this because this is some real. Tell me again. This is why these cards are in my arsenals because they keep it real. Do they not? Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. And here you have, I knew exactly what I was doing. And again, I do have mixed emotions about this card because depending on surrounding cards, sometimes this can be a good thing. Sometimes I knew exactly what I was doing the right thing. But if you're doing the wrong thing and I knew exactly what I was doing, that makes that person a little bit shitty, pardon me. But I do think that this person, there is a card that says, I hid who I really was from you. I wish I could share my good news with you. Happiness, joy. This person might have had, you might have had a relationship with this person in the past. I think that it was a very quick relationship because the other thing with fire, it flames up and it dies down quickly. And there's a lot of red in this. The other thing is you turn me on in so many ways. It does. I'm feeling a little bit of lust from this. So one thing that I'm kind of getting is that I'm getting a feeling like this might have been kind of a fast and quick, kind of passionate. But this person knew what they were doing. I'm getting a little bit of a player energy, and I'm so sorry, guys. But other than that, I think that this is kind of a good combination because possibly if this was like a fast, quick relationship with forgiving and learning, this person is either learning that their behavior was unacceptable. Again, I knew exactly what I was doing. Maybe they're learning. And that can be a comfort to you, if they were messing around and if they were being casual and you wanted something committed, they're learning that behavior was not acceptable. The other thing I kind of get with this is with the angels being in that person's ear. I do think that the universe is opening this person's eyes if they were being irresponsible. The other thing that I kind of get is that I think the universe, because I see a little bit of karma in this. It's quite possible that maybe if this person messed around on you, then they went on and got messed around with, and so they got a little bit of what they were dishing. The other thing I get is that I think that this person might want you to forgive them. That's the other thing that I kind of get with this. And it's, I knew exactly what I was doing. I just wasn't ready for you. So I do also get a little bit, because learning also talks about experience, meaning that maybe someone was being real juvenile with you. Again, maybe I don't get a strong like someone out to hurt you, but I do think that someone probably ended up hurting you because they were immature, or following their own passions. I'm getting a lot of passion from this. Um, the other thing I get is paradise, playfulness, enjoying. Here we go, enjoying each other. You turn me on in so many ways. So I get the feeling like there's somebody who's very attracted to you physically. The other thing is that it's possible that you've done the dance with this person in the past, and they kind of either want you to forgive them, or they're remembering the past and learning from that. The other thing I get, I am getting I'm getting a genuine. The other thing is that fire signs, they're pretty blunt. They're pretty on the level. Um, but the thing is, if this person wanted only a physical relationship, they need to say that. And if that's not what you want, then they need to take that as your answer, and be honest. But I am just seeing that I do get the sense like someone you know who this is, and you've done the dance with this person. They may want you to forgive them, either that or they're looking back on the past. One vibe that I definitely get from this, especially with all the red, is it's quite possible it's Valentine's Day and you're not talking to this person because they were playing around and it pissed you off, and now they can't even talk to you. Like maybe you block them, maybe they can't even chat you. And the other thing I kind of get is that they'd be like, oh wow, I had such a great physical passion with this person, and I can't even talk to them on Valentine's Day, because. But I do get the sense that they would be down for a one nighter if you wanted it. But I think here. The other thing I get is forgiving and learning might be your energy, where you're just letting them go. Like you knew what you were doing. I'm not, you're not ready for a real commitment. I'm not going to mess around with that. But the other thing we did get is that just now it said, I wish I could share my good news with you. It's quite possible that maybe something big is happening in this person's life and they wanted to talk to you about it. But I am getting a lot more physical passion from this. And I get someone who's not really ready for commitment. I do also get someone who might want your forgiveness. They might want your forgiveness for some kind of like immature or irresponsible behavior, lustful, base desires kind of behavior. But I definitely get the feeling like this person would really love to reach out to you, just to have. I feel like they, even if it's, and I'll be honest, even if it's just, if it's not even sex, it would just be like a night of cuddling. This person just wants to be close to you. But it's almost like you don't trust them because they've, you've seen, their MO is what I'm kind of getting. But well, guys, but that's who wants to be your Valentine. So even if I am getting kind of a strong sense, like maybe they want to reach out to you, but they can't, but they would love to share in that passion that they had with you before. All right, so last but not least, we have this beautiful kind of brown and black card. It's really pretty. It's very warm, very earthy. We've got who wants to be your Valentine? Getting to know each other. I lost myself for a while. You got two of these cards. I'm a better person because of you. Maybe we're just too different. Healthy choices. And everything's falling apart. Oh my gosh, guys. You know what I'm really getting from this? Now, first off, I definitely get a sense of kind of different backgrounds with this, just because when you look at this, you see like a real wealthy lady lounging around, and then you see someone who's more of a soldier. I also get the sense like this person is a soldier, but he's letting this kid like braid his hair or something. That's a little weird. That's the first time I've noticed that, actually. But what I'm kind of getting is that I get the sense. Okay, this is interesting, guys, and I kind of associate this heart with being more earthy. What I'm getting from this is that it's quite possible that it might be an earth sign, but there might be someone who's around you that's a little bit more serious, just kind of a reserved temperament. Either that, or you might be from different backgrounds, religious backgrounds, maybe socioeconomic backgrounds. You might be from different ethnic backgrounds. But it's almost like this person, I get kind of a sense like maybe you, this is one of those kind of slow burn kind of relationships. You might be friends first. And what I'm kind of getting is that when you're around each other, you know each other well, but it's almost like this person wants to connect with you a little bit deeper. And it's almost like everything has remained on the surface. Sorry for the background noise. It's snowing, so we've got uh, snow plows and everything else rolling down the street. But I get the sense like this person feels like everything is very much on the surface, but they want it to be a little bit deeper. The other thing that I get is I'm getting a strong sense that maybe you guys are you kind of circled around each other. Maybe you've been just friends, or you know each other from the same like a friend group or something, or maybe work related, because that can be pentacles, earth. And what I get is the other thing that I get is that maybe you kind of got the other thing I kind of get is that maybe you got the wrong impression about this person. Like maybe you thought about dating this person or something romantic, but then they were acting kind of strange at the time, and you just thought, oh, okay, no, that's not my type, or no, we're not compatible. But I'm seeing I lost myself for a little while. So you might have met this person at a time of change in their life. Maybe they had some big things going on, which was making them act different than how they usually are. And here it's just kind of saying, as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So maybe, yeah, again, maybe you were hiding yourself from this person. I'm getting kind of a guarded feeling. That's the other thing with the soldier. It's like guarding what you really feel. The other thing that I get is that it's quite possible that maybe this person has been heartbroken before, or you've been heartbroken before, because I lost myself for a little while. Goodness knows, sometimes when you get around someone that might be a good match for you after you've really been through some heartbreak, you don't really act like yourself anymore. You do get guarded, right? You don't wear your heart in your sleeve as easily. And the good thing is that you protect yourself with that, but the other thing is that sometimes people get the wrong impression of you, right? They can't really see the real you behind the wall you got up. So I lost myself for a little while. Might be that this person might have been acting a little out of character, or maybe they didn't let you see the real them because they were either hurting or going through some life changes that that they had to deal with. And here I got, I'm a better person because of you, and maybe we're just too different. So again, I do kind of see that like that teeter-totter. I see I'm a better person because of you. That's almost like a bond, like a connecting thing. But maybe we're too different is, again, that repelling, like saying, okay, it's kind of the write-off. It's kind of like, okay, well, we're too different. It would never work. So what I'm kind of getting from that is, yeah, I'm getting a sense that this is someone that you possibly could connect to, but you're either labeling this person as being not your type, or that on the surface they look like it wouldn't be compatible. But what I'm seeing is that their feelings about it is that they do like your personality, and you really do make them a better person, but they are worried about your differences. And again, that could be socioeconomic status, it could be ethnicity difference, religious differences, just the way that you do things. They're wondering if they should put their guard down. I am getting guard with that soldier. The other thing is healthy choices, making healthy choices in love and life, self-love, self-care, being happier. And I am also getting everything's falling apart. So I do think this person might have some stuff going on in their life. Maybe they have to change jobs or change homes, or maybe they got something going on in their family life with their parents. And I also get the sense, you know what I'm also getting is that I do think that this person's been through something recently or in the past, either love life related or family related. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to make healthy choices moving forward. And I think that they're a little bit on the fence. I'm getting almost like a little bit of a Libra, like a weighing of the scales, like well, I'm getting a strong sense that this person only wants to go forward with things that are for their best good, right? They're trying to make healthy choices. And they're trying to decide whether or not you're a healthy choice. But what I get is I'm a better person because of you. So clearly you've done things or said things to this person that was supportive, like you've proven yourself to be a good person. But they're just wondering if it seems a little surface level, and they're wondering at the core of it, would you be compatible? The other thing that I get is that I think this person has some kind of drama going on in their life right now, so they might not have a whole lot of time to get to know you better. And if I get the feeling like if it's got to be a quick decision, it's going to be like, well, I'm not going to engage in that because I got enough, I got enough drama going on. But I do feel like this person's kind of scoping you out, and on the surface, you look like a healthy choice. But the way that you can make you help them make the decision is almost like when you reveal your innermost self to this person. The other thing I kind of get is this person, the lady, is wearing really fancy clothes. Maybe this person thinks that you're more well off than they are, because again, soldiers are kind of, they're more, they're hard workers. They kind of work hard for their money. Maybe this person thinks that you don't, not that you don't, but that maybe you make more money than they do. And I think that if you kind of you would encourage this person, because again, I think that if you tread lightly and kind of show yourself to this person. And I also think that if you can show yourself to be an anchor, I'm a better person because of you. If you just kind of tread lightly and show this person that you're reliable, that you're not a bad choice. The other thing is that I'm getting that just be yourself. But I do kind of feel like it's almost like both persons have to be authentic. If you show your authentic self, it will connect to their authentic self. And this person, if nothing else, this person can make an educated decision over But I do think that this person is being cautious. It's almost like they're walking on eggshells because they either have some kind of drama going on in their family, possibly their work life, and they're feeling a little lost, and they want to make healthy choices. This is the other thing is that I'm getting, it's almost like they've had drama in their life and they're not going to have any more drama. They're like, maybe they have a crazy ex and they're just like, okay, the next relationship, they want it to be exciting, but they also want it to be stable, So maybe they're looking at you and being like, okay, is this person crazy too? This person has shown this to me and that looks cool, but maybe we're just too different, So I think you would know who it is that I'm talking about, but it's almost like they're hovering and they're waiting and watching. And I think that if you get to know each other a little bit better, maybe if you ask them open-ended questions or just kind of show that it's safe, that you're, also maybe show them the things that you're interested in, like what you do behind closed doors, within reason, like again, like if you like movies or if you like to crochet or something like that, if you say, oh yeah, last night was great, I just stayed home and I did this, and let them see that. And I think that will let them come out of their shell and let them feel comfortable with you. But well, guys, all right, so that was an awesome read. And again, you can see these cards in action. All of them are wonderful. If you're interested in the DejaDrewIt, that is coming soon. I'm still freaking excited. So I'm not getting those cards. I'm not getting the DejaDrewIt cards. They're not coming for Valentine's Day, but they're going to be my St. Patrick's Day present for sure. And love your show, babe. Deja is awesome. Follow her on Facebook. I am going to be also watching the Heal and Ascend Tarot if that card deck comes out. And then the details for all of these card decks are at the timestamp. I hope that you have a wonderful Valentine's Day, whether you're a singleton, a mom, a grandmom. Please surround yourself with those you love and who love you. And I hope you have a wonderful, warm, and loving day. And I hope to catch you in the next video. See you next time. Bye.